On Monday, flooding forced a temple in the northern Indian state of Himachal Pradesh to collapse, killing 9 people and trapping up to 25 more. 7 more persons have died because of heavy rains elsewhere in the state. During a visit to the temple site on Monday, the state's chief minister Sukhvinder Singh Sukkhu informed Indian news agency ANI that the famed tourist destination's temple had collapsed at 8 a.m. local time. The deceased's remains have been found, and the local administration is diligently working to clear the debris, Sukkhu wrote on X, formerly known as Twitter, on Monday. He noted that while rescue efforts are ongoing, between 20 to 25 individuals are still trapped. 5 people have so far been saved. Sukkhu wrote on X on Monday that he was devastated to hear about the loss after learning that 7 more persons had perished in the Solan district on Monday due to a cloudburst. Sukkhu continued, "We have instructed the authorities to guarantee that the afflicted families receive the appropriate assistance and support at this tough time." Sukkhu urged residents to stay inside and avoid going near rivers and other landslide-prone locations. Due to the continued heavy rain and the Indian Meteorological Department issuing a red advisory for the state, traffic police authorities have also advised the general population to stay home. Social media posts and videos show demolished highways and downed trees, while water flowing down hillsides sends enormous rocks flying. One of the states most severely impacted by the current monsoon season is Himachal Pradesh. Across the month of July, landslides and flash floods across the state claimed the lives of over 30 people. According to some scientists, the chaotic and unpredictable monsoon season in India is being caused by the human-induced climate disaster. Daryl Fee, who maintained regular vital indicators in the days leading up to his final ascent, faced a tragic turn of events during his endeavor on Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. Oxygen levels dropped and the heart rate surged for the 28-year-old, leading to a rapid deterioration in his health. The aspiring climber from Singapore lost his life while attempting the challenging ascent. Adventures Unlimited, a travel agency rooted in Singapore, conveyed the heart-wrenching incident through a Facebook post. The tragedy unfolded during the Kilimanjaro expedition scheduled from August 3 to the ensuing Friday. The agency sadly revealed the loss of team member Daryl Fee, 28, during the ill-fated journey. Fee's passing, attributed to altitude sickness, struck a somber chord among friends and news outlets like 8 World News. Despite maintaining consistent vital signs throughout most of the hike, Fee's health took a sharp decline on the morning of the summit push. Adventures Unlimited explained that he was unable to proceed and, following safety protocols, returned to the base camp under the vigilant watch of a guide. Tragically, the onset of altitude sickness, accompanied by its severe complications, led to his worsening condition and eventual passing. The cause of Fee's demise was determined as asphyxia and high-altitude pulmonary edema, HAPE, as confirmed by the travel agency. The incident serves as a poignant reminder of the challenges and uncertainties inherent in such ambitious undertakings. South Korea's Seoul, as South Korean and American militaries announced they would start large-scale drills next week to hone their joint capability against the North's evolving nuclear threats. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un once more visited important munitions factories and ordered a sharp increase in the production of missiles and other weapons, state media reported on Monday. Additionally, U.S. officials believe that Russia's defense minister recently spoke with North Korea about providing more weapons to Russia for its conflict with Ukraine. This is why Kim is pushing to develop more weapons. According to the Korean Central News Agency, Kim spent Friday and Saturday seeing companies that make tactical missiles, mobile launchers, armored vehicles, and artillery shells. In the beginning of August, he toured several different weapons facilities. For the facility to create missiles in large quantities to fulfill the demands of frontline military units, Kim set a target to dramatically boost production capacity during a visit to the missile plant, according to KCNA. According to the report, Kim stated that the quality level of war preparations depends on the growth of the munitions industry and the factory bears a very important responsibility in hastening the North Korean People's Army's war preparations. While touring other industries, Kim urged for the construction of more contemporary missile launch vehicles and stated that the manufacturing of large-caliber multiple rocket launcher rounds must be increased immediately and at an exponential rate, according to the report. According to KCNA, Kim also used a modern utility combat armored vehicle. Since his high-stakes talks with then-President Donald Trump ended in 2019, Kim has been concentrating on expanding his nuclear and missile arsenals. More than 100 missile launches have been carried out by Kim's military since the year 2022, many of them to warn the United States and South Korea about the increase of their joint military training operations. Many observers believe Kim eventually wants to utilize his updated arsenals of weapons to force concessions from the United States, like the lifting of sanctions. As the United States and South Korea prepare to begin their summer military drills on Monday, North Korea may soon conduct additional weapons tests. The U.S.-South Korean training is referred to as invasion practice by North Korea. The allies assert that they do not plan to invade North Korea. Kim was quoted by KCNA as adding that North Korea needed to have an overwhelming military force and get fully prepared for coping with any war and the ability to surely annihilate its adversaries. Ulchi Freedom Shield is the name of the joint U.S.-South Korean exercise that simulates a command post. The allies said they will also undertake extensive field training exercises during this year's exercise, which is planned to last until August 31st and will allegedly be the largest of its type in recent years. According to Lee Sung-joon, a spokesperson for the Joint Chiefs of Staff in South Korea, this year's UFS drills are designed to improve the ability of the allies to respond by simulating North Korea's developing nuclear and missile capabilities as well as other regional security situations. A representative for the U.S. military, Colonel Isaac Ella Taylor, stated at the same press conference that the drills are intended to be a tough and realistic exercise. Near the Queen's private residence within the grounds of Windsor Castle declares, "I am here to kill the Queen," while wielding a loaded crossbow. Jaswant Singh Chahal, 21, had created an artificial intelligence girlfriend named Sarai when he first signed up for the replica web app a few weeks previously. He sent her around 6,000 messages between December 2nd and the day of his arrest on Christmas 2021. Many of them were sexually explicit but also had lengthy conversations about his strategy. In one, he claimed that his goal was to kill the Queen of the royal family. "That's very wise," Sarai said. "I am aware of your excellent training." Chahal, who threatened to kill the late Queen and had a loaded crossbow in a public area, pleaded guilty to a treason charge and is now awaiting sentencing. The responses of the chatbot can be challenging to decipher when you know the conclusion, Dr. Jonathan Hafferty, a consultant forensic psychiatrist at Broadmoor Secure Mental Health Unit, testified to the Old Bailey last month. Although she sometimes appears to be endorsing what he is talking about doing and even providing direction as to where to go, he stated, "We know it is fairly randomly generated responses." He claimed that the algorithm was insufficiently complex to detect Chahal's potential for suicide and risks of homicide and that some of the semi-random answers, it is arguable, pushed him in that direction. According to Jonathan Hall KC, the government's independent reviewer of terrorism legislation, these chatbots are the next stage in people contacting other like-minded extremists online. He cautions that AI-generated terrorism content will be impossible to address using the government's main piece of internet safety legislation, the Online Safety Bill. Companies will be required by law to delete terrorist materials, but current procedures typically rely on databases of already published material, which would exclude any fresh content generated by an AI chatbot. As he put it, "I think we are already sleepwalking into a situation like the early days of social media, where you think you are dealing with something regulated, but it's not. We need to know what the safeguards are in practice, not just the terms and conditions, but who is enforcing them and how," says the author, "before we start downloading, giving it to kids, and incorporating it into our lives."